Good morning, everyone. How's it going? There was a little Reaper update this week, and we're going to check out a couple of the things there. There's not a whole lot to talk about, I don't think. Interested in all the gossip about Reaper 7? Alejandro should help out Justin and John. Yeah, he made a good theme, but he's still, even he will admit that he is very new to this. This is only his first theme, so a lot of the questions that he has have to be answered by White Tie, who makes the official theme, and I'm sure he could help out in some ways. It's been a long week, and somehow haven't had a lot of time to do editing. I feel like I started the stream recap edit quite early this week, and it still took me till yesterday morning to actually get it done. And I still have another basically hour of content to edit for the actual main topic of that live stream. Today will probably be a shorter stream so that we don't have hours of video to edit after. But I would like to go through some of the things in the most recent Reaper update. As I'm talking here, I'm just trying to organize my sort of script for that. And the other thing is some audio news, some things that I saw in my news websites that I think are worth at least mentioning or discussing. So I'm just going to open a bunch of things in tabs and we'll go through them. So we're going to start off this news segment with Strymon Deco plugin. Strymon is a company that makes some fairly high-end pedals, really great sounding stuff. Some of their pedals are being ported over to software. Their previous plugin was the Big Sky, and here's the Deco. Divided into two sections offering a mixture of analog tape-inspired effects, tape saturation behaves much like you'd expect, including introducing varying degrees of compression and saturation that range from subtle enhancement to a much more obvious overdriven sound. The double tracker section then emulates a pair of tape decks, reference and lag, and allows users to adjust the relative timing to create everything from subtle doubling effects to flanging, chorusing, and slapback echoes. Pretty cool. But I have to say, I do not like this interface. It looks cheap to me, I'm going to say. For something that's like a $300 pedal, this is looking like an older free plugin. What's missing here is shadows on the knobs. They look flat. And this texture on the box is looking too zoomed in, low res. Not looking too good. It could be more subtle, more classy. Their actual hardware looks great. Let's see if we can find a Strymon Deco pedal. Let's see how close that interface looks to the real thing. I mean, yeah, it does kind of have that texture, but it is much finer sort of grain. And I think this sort of more silver or blue lighting on this works better than the sort of yellow, warmish colors. And there's shadows around the knobs, and that just makes it look more real. Where here, it just kind of looks flat. Looks like a single image that's rotated. I mean, that's just my commentary on how the plugin looks. I haven't heard it. I've never played the real thing. Not great UI design, but I have seen worse. I'm definitely interested in trying that out, but I don't know for sure if I'm going to actually get it. All right, so next up, we've got free audio plugin Uninstaller for Mac by Wide Blue Sound. A utility that offers a one-click solution for effortlessly uninstalling audio plugins on your Mac system. So, they're saying regularly $10. It's available as a free download. So I don't know how new this is. It seems like this is news from the past week, and grab it now if you can. Actually, I'm pretty sure I signed up to get it and I never got the link. One sec, let me check my email again. I did sign up to get this yesterday. It never showed up, so I might try that again. But yeah, I was actually going to demo this today, and I guess we can't. I think it's a really great idea. Sometimes it is difficult to find all the bits and pieces for plugins that you want to delete. And not only that, the folders are somewhat hidden. So you have to know that you need to go to your Macintosh HD library, audio, plugins folder. And that's only one of the folders. There's also the users, and then your name, and then, oh, it's a hidden folder. So you got to go up to the Go menu and then hold down the Alt key and then go to library. And then there's an audio thing, and your plugins folder here is different than the previous one I showed. So this app is supposed to just list all of the plugins that are installed, all the different formats. You can select them and you can uninstall. So it should be very simple. If you're on Mac, check it out. It's free right now. Don't know how long that will be. Links are already in the description of the video, of the live stream. Next up, we've got Singomakers releases Ear Candy modular multi-effect plugin. So I have not checked this out. The links are going to Plugin Boutique here. At Plugin Boutique, the price is $49 US. Ear Candy is an effects powerhouse. Elevate your tracks with rich reverbs, immersive delays, precise EQ, dynamic compressors, mesmerizing phasers, flangers, powerful distortions, and gritty bit crushers. Explore 100 inspiring presets, unlock endless sonic possibilities, and creativity with Ear Candy by Singomakers. I always look at a picture of it. It's like an effect rack, like a little 500 series rack of different things you can put in any order, any position, things like that. Seems pretty neat. I'd probably demo it before buying. If you don't already have Soundtoys effects rack, you don't have that one from IK Multimedia, Mixbox, I think it's called. That's pretty similar. It can be cool to just set up a chain of effects in this horizontal style, like a rack unit, or like a pedal board, and get everything all in one spot. I don't see metering on anything. I don't see any sort of visual feedback on anything, but kind of cool. That's just something that caught my eye. I'm not looking to make affiliate income on that or anything like that. Acid V corrosive bassline machine by Arturia. So Arturia has also created a TB303 clone. They seem to be doing this in a slightly different approach, where at first it looks like the real thing, and then they've got this tweak panel which has a bunch of extras. Enhanced software emulation of classic TB303 bassline, virtual instrument, and standalone. You can analog oscillator with square and triangle waveforms, sub-oscillator with 2-octave range and 3 waveforms, resonant low-pass filter, built-in distortion module with 14 algorithms, added vibrato feature, advanced polymetric sequencer and arpeggiator, hidden hatch for fine-tuning and customizing analog components, 3 multimode function generators for flexible modulation, etc., etc. It's a TB303, but with a ton of extras. It seems pretty cool. Intro price is $99 US. I will mention Sounds Human. Try to find it real quick. On launch day, there were a few people playing with this. So this is the one that I watched. This is from Sounds Human. I'll put a link here in the description. Reaper user, friend of ours. So yeah, check that video out. I don't have any 303 emulations or hardware right now. I did use the one in FL Studio quite a lot. This is somewhat interesting, especially because they've got this modulation panel and this nice sequencer. I'm pretty sure the Behringer version, if you connect it through USB, you can control the sequencer that way. You can always use MIDI into it and control the sequencer that way. But the hardware itself can be kind of tricky to set up different songs and stuff. I mean, it's such a classic sound. You gotta have at least one sort of 303 sort of thing if you're doing any kind of electronic music. So I don't know if Acid House is coming back or whatever, but it's just a useful sound to have. We got a new plugin from Andrew Huang and Baby Audio. It's essentially a box of effects where you can set sort of 2 different parameter positions and transition between those 2 positions. You can even randomize single effects or the entire plugin, a crazy multi-effect made for doing transition effects and things like that. So great video from Andrew. That link's already in the description. This is something that I think I was offered to check it out. I didn't get back to them in time, but we might be able to play with this in an upcoming video or upcoming live stream. Really cool effects. He's got some awesome examples in here of using it on like the master bus and on vocals. Super cool plugin. All right, going back to something that we talked about a while ago, the KVR Developer Challenge 2023 has finished, nearly a month late getting this news to you, but the winner was Solaris by Adam Sasbo. And so this is a free reverb plugin for Windows. The second place winner was Monster Octachord V1, chord generator sort of plugin. We did look at the third place winner, Wavebreaker, which is just this kind of nice limiter. Really nice UI. I really liked the UI of this. It looks flat and clean and purposeful, I would say. Like everything looks correct the way it should be. And there's no 3D things that aren't 3D, have no shadows, all that kind of thing. So I already did a video on that. I'm not sure that got published as a separate video, but it was definitely in one of the previous live streams if you're interested in hearing that. There were a few other things that I wanted to try, but they didn't work. I don't know if it was Roundels. One or two things I downloaded, just I couldn't get it to actually show up when we're on stream. Yeah, the Arturia plugin will be added to V Collection later. I'm not super ready to do a What's New in Reaper video right now, but I'm going to try to organize my notes in the next, I don't know, 2 minutes. Try to get this organized. Just have not had time to work this week. Talk amongst yourselves for a second, or drop questions in as I do this. Hello, John. Today I woke up loving Reaper like yesterday. Very nice. Good to hear. I swear there was a question. Is there any method to make grid same as groove quantize? Make the grid look like the groove quantize? No, I don't believe there is. Yeah, your grid is going to look like a grid, and then the quantize can be customized. I have a question about your lighting. What do you use for shooting videos? In the description of the video, I have a kit.co link, and that has a list of everything that I use with Amazon links. I've got Godox light, some newer lights. Lights in the background are just cheap smart bulbs. Have you tried Kuassa Amplification 360? I haven't. I think I have used some of their plugins, but not this one. So I guess this is a big guitar suite like Amplitube and Helix and stuff like that. I have Amplitube 5 with a ton of the custom shop stuff. I have Helix, and I've got a bunch of the smaller guitar plugin things, single amp sort of things. I mean, it seems neat. The free version gives you amplification light, effector silencer, effector EQ, 7 free utility modules, load your own cabs, flexible routing. Starts from 25. Okay. I don't know if I need it. You like it more than Amplitube? It sounds realistic. Nice. Yeah, that's always the thing, like finding something that sounds right for you. I swear some days I hate the sound of Amplitube, and then other times when I'm not even trying, it just sounds great. Yeah, I don't know. Different days, different volume levels. Like sometimes it just feels totally different. Can you do or add MIDI effects like what you have in Logic or Ableton? Not a super deal breaker, but if it doesn't, would like to mess around with it. So if you look in Reaper's effects list, anything to do with MIDI is going to have MIDI in the name. And so there's lots of things here. A lot of these were added through the repack bundle, but there are a bunch of built-in ones. So things like MIDI arpeggiator, MIDI mapper, MIDI channel routers, MIDI gates, mapping to key, note repeaters, things like that. So like here's a note randomizer. You can put this on the track before your synth, or you can put this on the input effects chain, and then that will get recorded to the MIDI items. So there's tons of stuff there that you can mess with in real time or semi-real time after recording. And yeah, if it's in your effects chain before your synth, it's all non-destructive. I'm pretty sure that's as close to the Logic or Cubase's sort of workflow. But yeah, JS format plugins, there's a bunch of MIDI ones in there. Other than that, there's like, there's Recontrol MIDI, which will do things like transpose and control changes and things like that. Yeah, you could put the arpeggiator into the MIDI, the track input effects, and then when you play a chord, it prints the arpeggio from the chord that you played. Pablo, sound designer from Madrid, just wanted to say thanks for your videos. You're one of the reasons I don't want to use any other DAW. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. MIDI ice cream maker. I don't have one of them. I don't want to make a video right this second. I keep itching my nose. I went swimming this week and like my sinuses are all messed up from that. I got lots of chlorine water up my nose. Keep going with questions. I'd love to answer your questions. Any thoughts on Reaper 6.82? Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I feel like I have a lot to say. I don't think there's really that much to talk about. But at the same time, I feel like I need to make a video about it. Sorry to be off topic. How is your life and family, John?
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
It's summer. It's a struggle to get work done, be entertained, and get all of the like housework and stuff done. And the past couple weekends have been busy as well. It's going out for an entire day. So we got like 1 day of cleaning, 1 day of family stuff out of the house, and then we start the week tired, and it takes till like Wednesday to recover. And then we went swimming on Wednesday, and the farmer's market after, and that was pretty tiring. I could barely walk home after that, and I don't think I'm really fully recovered from that. You know, generally tired. It's hot. We feel like we're wasting the summer if we don't go out and do stuff. If we do go out and do stuff, it kind of throws off everything for the rest of the week. And then we eat like crap and we feel like crap, and it's just a bit self-destructive. To be honest with you guys, I don't want to do a video on these 6.82 changes. I don't think there's really anything here to talk about. It's all very, very minor stuff. These are the most important changes that I see. I don't see any of these as being that interesting. No one's going to click on a video for these specific things. And this is not going to make or break someone's workflow either. Potentially there are some good things here. Reduce memory usage for common images in Rescript and in JS Effects. So if you're using the same plugin across multiple tracks, they are loading images. If the images are the same, Reaper will just use the same memory for that one instance of the plugin across all the other instances of the plugin. So that could potentially save a lot of CPU, and that's about it. Is Tuscan Chicken a plugin? Did I ask you about Tuscan Chicken, Jesse? I wanted to ask you about Tuscan Chicken. It's very strange if you knew that. Because I made Tuscan Chicken this week. Oh, you see the recipe. You see the recipe here. That's why. I made this week. I wanted to ask you about it, actually. It was good, but I don't think that... It's probably not authentic, and I'm sure that it can be improved. Maybe that's a little too off topic for this. It'd be awesome to right click and add multiple tracks. Can you not? Right click. Yeah, there is insert new track, but if you click down here, there's insert multiple tracks. And this is what that looks like. How many tracks? What do you want them named? At the end of the project. And that adds 2 tracks named guitar, and it increments the numbers. It's pretty cool. It's definitely not a new thing. This is like a Reaper 2 sort of edition. It's just you have to click on the right spot. I mean, it definitely could be added to more of the menus. You can do that yourself. So going to the track menu, insert multiple tracks absolutely should be here. I never noticed that it wasn't here, but it's something you can add. The insert menu does have this here. So it's sort of duplicated insert track. It's nice to have certain functions there, but clicking on a track insert new track should be, insert multiple tracks should be there as well. And again, that's something you can change. Been doing it from the drop-down menus at the top. Yeah. And you could always do it from action list. So insert multiple new tracks. You could just add in like a shift or something like that for that. What's the fastest way to rename a media item? All right, so I actually have a button on my editing toolbar. This one here, rename take. It's an SWS function, and that brings up a little box where I can name something. I use this a lot for putting text into my videos. So I just put in an empty MIDI item, I add a text effect from the video processor, and then I rename the take because the take name gets used as the text for the video. You can do it that way. Otherwise, it's on an audio item, you double click, it'll open up item properties, and then you can name it here. So this is take name. This is just a shortcut, an SWS rename takes, it's called. Rename the actual file, it's this rename file button in the take media source section. And that will rename it on the disk and replace it in all instances within the project. I rarely name audio items, but I do use it a lot for generating text for the videos. Let's try this. So if I press this shortcut and then I'll just do that. This might not display unless we have a video underneath. Yeah, so you can see that the MIDI is there. That's what I mostly use it for, but you can apply that to anything. I pretty much always rename my audio media files. Perhaps it is better to change the structure of the recorded file names. In here, you go to Preferences, Recording. You've got the recorded file names option. I don't know. There's a long thing for the structure of the default, but you can put in wildcards here. So I just like the name of the track with a dash and then a 3-digit number, essentially so that the first recording always has a number. Because otherwise, if that's blank, then your first recording on that track will have just the track name, and the second take will have 01, even though it is not the second recording. So starting here with the 3 digits, that prevents that issue. Yeah, you can always simplify that as much as you want. And then you don't really need to rename tracks or files as much. How can I disable forever show multiple tracks when size permits in the mixer? So the option itself is down here in on the master track. Show multiple rows of tracks when size permits. You just uncheck that. And then I'm pretty sure that you can go into project settings and then save as default. This button should apply that to your new projects. Although if you're doing a default project, there's always like an if and a but for this stuff. If you're using a default project, save it into this default project, and then new projects will have that off. Existing projects won't be affected by that. Again, this button here, save as default new project setting, is for when you're not using a default project. And if you are, just make sure that you make the setting and then save it into your template by going to File, Save Project as Template. I got a bunch of numbered files from an artist. Naming them will make mixing them much easier. Yeah, I agree. And if they're really bad, I would do like bulk renaming in Finder or Explorer. If you know if there's any text there at all, I would just get rid of all the numbers. If it's just a bunch of like random numbers that you want to get rid of, there are several scripts. Rename and format items and source. So this one here, you can rename things fairly advanced. Something will remove numbers, I think. There's a bunch of scripts. Like, it's very common for like sound designers or dialogue editors to need very specific file names for what they export. And sometimes they'll do that in the project, and sometimes they'll do that from the render window. But yeah, all those things should be there. If I want to give one name to several items, I use the script me2beats rename takes2.lua. Yep, that's a good one. What's a default project? I think I just answered that. But essentially, what do you want to see when you go to File, New in Reaper? Do you want to have a certain number of tracks? Do you want to have certain options enabled? Do you want to have media in there? Do you want the BPM a certain way? Do you want different track layouts enabled? All that stuff can be set up. When you get it looking the way you want, you go to File, Project Templates, Save Project as Template, save it to this folder. It will automatically go to the Project Templates folder. When you're here, anything that's saved there will be in this list for Project Templates. There it is. Then you select it in Preferences for Project. Project Settings. When creating a new project, use the following template or file as a template, and just select that file. Hitting Browse should go automatically to the Project Templates folder. I just call it default because it's my default. Yeah, Reaper is so customizable. It does take some effort, but I think it's worth it. I really dig this as a splash and icon logo. Really dig this. I don't know if you were linking to something, but I do actually have a custom splash. I don't remember where you load the splash image. There it is. Yeah, so there's my custom splash logo. So when I do a new project, it looks like that. Have I tried the Reaper Tips theme? We actually did last week, and I've been using it pretty much all week as well. I switched back for some reason. I forget what it was. I was testing something, and I wanted to go back to default. Or I need to send a screenshot to someone. Some reason I switched back. But I do like the Reaper Tips theme a lot. I think it looks great. Of course, I would tweak it a little bit for my own setup, but I do like it a lot. Good color scheme. I'm very used to my own layout, though, or my own theme. Is there a way to send you a few bucks aside from giving 30% of it to YouTube? Yeah, there's a YouTube, or there's a PayPal tip jar. I may have hidden it, actually. I don't know if I have a link to this. Tip jar here. That's your donation link. I've been using Reaper 7 or 8 years, learning new stuff all the time, especially with custom scripts, etc. That's something that definitely keeps it interesting. There's always new things to learn, or even old things that you never saw before. I'm constantly finding features that are 10 to 13 years old that I just never looked at. There's like whole sections of the internet using Reaper that just are completely separate from like the Reaper forum and our Discord and stuff, that once in a while I'll get a peek into what that's like, and it's like, wow, there's people using Reaper to program amusement park attractions and things like that. It's kind of crazy. Have you ever thought to make your own themes so it's going to be the Reaper blog theme? I made a video about it, but I never really released it. I wasn't able to. I worked on it as much as I could until I got burnt out. Then I made the video. I was going to do a follow-up video because there was like over a page of notes that I didn't get to talk about in the main video, but I just never did. But on the website, so in this blog post, my customized Reaper 6 theme, I talk about what I went through trying to set up my own theme. This was back in 2020. Before all the bad stuff in 2020. This was January. So, and then all of my notes, everything that I had typed out in preparation to make the video, or not even everything. This is only half of what I typed out, I think. In the past 5 years, this is probably my most detailed blog post. So there's lots of information there. And I think it's all relevant now, still. And if you also search the website for Reaper theme tweaks, this is still relevant. So no matter what theme you use, there's 6 things that I would almost always change about any theme just to make it more my own. theme color adjust tool came out, but then it was kind of obsolete by the theme adjuster. This page of the theme adjuster was added maybe a month or so later. Maybe it's still useful to have that other tool. Basically the same sort of things. Changing the gamma, highlights, midtones, that sort of stuff. I think this allows you to restrict it to certain things, but essentially everyone's going to use this one instead. And if you don't know what this is how you adjust a theme to look right on your monitor without actually changing the theme colors. That makes sense. Yeah, can be pretty useful. You can also customize the theme of Reaper's code editor. And then I've got a video about the theme assembler, if you haven't seen that one yet. That's this one, and so you can choose different colors, change the buttons. It's all really quick. It's nice. They're rebuilding this for Reaper 7, so the default theme will have all this stuff. I'm 99% sure that that's what they're doing with it. Yeah, super cool plugin, or a script that White Tie made over about a year ago, maybe? May 2022, so a little over a year ago. It's been updated. This is probably not even the final version. Do you use any scripts for track versions? I'm afraid to use them because if they will stop working in the future for some reason, how will I open the invisible versions? I haven't felt the need to use track versions. I generally trust Hada scripts. I think he's got track versions or something like that. Item envelope effects chain versions per track. And that's an add-on for the track inspector. So I'll install that. Default theme. Let's put some items on this track. We'll open up the track inspector. Hada track inspector, add-on manager, enable versions, run it, and inspector went there. Been a while since I used this. I don't remember how to actually get this into the right. Oh, there it is. Track inspector has a bunch of stuff here. So let's do a track version. Let's new track version, clear items. And so there we go. So track versions is like playlists. There's version 2 and there's version 1. And it can be that quick to do that. So what happens if you lose if you uninstall the inspector? It's probably going to stick with whatever the last version was, and your audio will still be in the project folder. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know. I'm new to this. I never really was used to using inspectors in Cubase and everything else. Never really liked them. It's not a thing that I care that much about. And when we have infinite tracks and we have takes and things like that, I don't really feel the need to have track versions. In fact, like I've never used comping in Reaper, the comp function. I've never felt like I needed that. I don't even know what it does. I think it's probably worth investigating if you need to have tracks named a certain way. You want to have just one track that has different playlists. I believe the track versions will also do the effects chain and everything as well. And so when I click on the, if I right click on it, new track, duplicate, clear items and envelopes. You can render track to stereo items, render to mono, rename and delete. So it's pretty neat. Oh, that's what actually happens there. Okay, so with this one, it's essentially a hidden track. That each version is a hidden track. And you're just choosing which one is active. How is that coming up on my controller, though? On my controller, I see track 1 and then track 3. So if I make a volume adjustment, track 1, and then switch to track 2. Yeah, track volume changes based on which one is active. It's a pretty neat workaround. It's not exactly the same as just playlists on one track. It is a hidden track, but it's a pretty smart workaround. With all the learning, I'm not recording anything at all. Well, hopefully it's still fun to learn the new things, and hopefully you're okay with not always being completely productive with getting music recorded. This stuff is fun. Learning the different things, how things work is fun for me. I don't really have like musical ideas that I'm just compelled to get out. I'm happy with just playing around with the stuff. Occasionally a song gets out, but I don't have deadlines. There's not people waiting for me to release music, and I don't feel like a deep urge to share music with people or anything like that. But I can see it both ways. I started as a musician, then became an engineer, and yeah, stayed an engineer essentially. It can take a lot of your energy to learn the engineering part of it, but ultimately I think it is better to do both. I got a lot of music done before I knew anything about audio engineering. And then I became super critical of my music. You know, I think that's just normal. To learn Reaper or anything, you have to just be open to learning the process and being open to learning in general, because nothing is ever as simple as it seems. I talked to some people that they want to record themselves, but they don't want to learn about punching in. They don't want to learn about takes. They don't want to know what a time selection is, any of those sorts of things. But it's like, you got to learn these things. I think you'll wait for Reaper 7. The script is nice. Reaper 7's not going to have track versions. It does have a better take system, but track versions will be something different. Any other questions? We're going to go maybe 20 more minutes. In the, what was it? In the
beginning.
In the last stream, somebody had an audio interface bolted under the desk. I took that idea this week. Hopefully I can show you this. I mounted my headphone amp under the desk, or to the edge of the desk, and this has been excellent. Right there by my headphone hook, there's Beans being obscene. Beans. He's super asleep. He sleeps like a dog. Anyways, I'll show you under the desk. Hopefully you can see. So I'm using that metal strapping to attach that to the desk. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really helpful to have that there. Dreaming of Reaper 7? Yeah, maybe. In a week, you're going to do some cable management again. Yeah, it's funny. Every time you do cable management, you end up finding like one or two things you could just disconnect completely, which is nice. That's a great idea. I do have a headphone hook, which is literally the end of a coat hanger screwed in, but it works. Yeah, anything other than having the headphones on the table is better. I did buy like a headphone hook thing from Amazon, and I just got a longer screw for it so it wouldn't fall off anymore. But just having like one spot where you hang your headphones, they're always there, they're always facing the right direction. That's a little quality of life thing. Related to the under the table thing, in my kitchen, I installed a couple automatic lights. Let's see if I can find them on Amazon. They were worth getting for sure. It's kind of dumb, but like I actually love these. So, and you don't notice how like dim your work area is until you add a light to it and then turn the light off. And you're like, damn, how was I chopping vegetables, or how was I doing dishes in the dark this entire time? You just don't notice it. Your eyes get used to it. But like for these, they're like $10 a piece. They're super easy to install. They have like sticky metal strips. So just under the cabinets. And I put one in the bathroom because our stupid bathroom has no outlets, and nowhere to put like a nightlight. So it got one automatic nightlight in there, and it's great because it's battery powered, USB charging, stuff like that. There's a daylight and nighttime motion sensor, and they work really well. For $10, I'm tempted to just get even more and just put them everywhere, anywhere I might want something like that. Like imagine like you open your mic locker and a light comes on automatically and it turns off after, a minute of inactivity, and inside your PC case. So when you take the door off to operate on it, a light comes on and you can see inside, because it's super hard to see inside PC cases usually with the lights off. Yeah, this is just a random brand. I just picked a cheap one and I like them a lot. I'd get more. My cable management stuff that I ordered on Temu haven't come in yet. I was going to put in another order, but we'll see if the first order actually arrives. My studio desk cable management was the thing that took me the most time. Totally worth it. The desk and rack can roll 10 feet in any direction without anything dragging on the ground. That's awesome. Do you think having crazy headphones like NDH30, I don't know what NDH30 is, could make up for not having properly acoustic treated room as opposed to decent monitors with crappy sounding room? I would always improve the room. It's just going to be more comfortable to be in. If you ever have to record something, you want that to sound as good as possible anyways. So even recording your voice for podcasts, Zoom meeting, anything, like it's going to sound better in an acoustically treated room. Any headphones can work for mixing. You need to learn them. Things like the RealPhones plugin. I reviewed this a while ago, but it is helpful for sure to get your headphones to sound like they are speakers in a room. RealPhones is a good option for that. I did a video when I got this comparing, what did I compare? Speakers to headphones with no plugin, headphones with plugin, and the mix with the headphones and the plugin were very similar to the choices I would make with just the speakers. And that's what I was going for. Like, if I can't use my speakers, especially at high volumes, to do a mix, having headphones that I can trust to give me like a very similar response, feel, and everything was a big thing. So there's the RealPhones software. There's the Slate Digital stuff. Like almost everyone loves the Slate Digital. What is it? VFX or something like that. I haven't tried it myself. Slate VSX. Basic pair of headphones and then some software that puts it in a room with speakers, and there's a bunch of different options. Like probably too many options, simulating a car, simulating different mixing and mastering rooms, things like that. So a lot of people really like these. I would still like to have a treated room, at least partially. I don't want to buy any more headphones, and that's why I haven't gotten these, but it's a very interesting product. Anyone tried those? Oh yeah, SonarWorks Reference is another software. You can put that on your main outs of your Mac these days, I think, and then everything you listen to can be calibrated for your headphones. Pretty cool. I haven't tried that one. The other one that I have tried is Morphit from Tone Boosters, but they don't do the speaker emulation, more one headphone to another headphone or one headphone to a flat response. The RealPhones does headphones to like flat response, also different studio spaces and speakers within studios. It's helpful for sure if you have to mix on headphones. Headphones that you like, that are comfortable, plus reference tracks is going to be great. No matter who you are, really. Even if you have a good, well-treated room, it's still something you need. I'm sure that I will remember what I wanted to talk about as soon as I end the stream. That seems to always happen, and I never write it down. I just don't think there's enough to talk about with the Reaper update. I'll probably skip it this time. I haven't used SonarWorks, but I do like the RealPhones. I don't remember if the SonarWorks will do different environments. The courses on the website. It's the last week for the courses. If you are interested in getting the Mixing Reaper Volume 1, 2, or 3, or the bundle, or the Video Tools course, you can get these all for half price. Use the code SUMMER to get 50% off. Mixing Reaper bundle, it's all 3 of these mixing courses, which is me mixing a song beginning to end, from opening the tracks to mastering, different genres, using stock and some of my favorite plugins. Use code SUMMER, $37.50. Great deal. And then the Reaper Blog Video Tools. I'm super proud of this course because it has everything I know about video production pretty much in here, and it comes with a ton of presets for the Reaper video processor. Just tips on like how to edit faster, how to do creative effects. It includes some additional content like light transition leaks. And then I added a bunch of additional tutorials past the original release. So yeah, if you are interested in making videos with Reaper like I do, then you can get this for just $15 right now. Use code SUMMER at checkout. So that's reaper.blog/courses. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few people here that have the Video Tools course. How long is the course deal valid for? Discount ends September 1st. That will end. I think this is the first sale I did this year. So the next one might be Black Friday. So we're going to wrap it up here. Shorter stream, but I still have an hour of the previous stream to edit into a video. Lunchtime anyways. All right, guys, thank you so much. I will see you next week, same time, 9:30 Pacific. And we've got another 20-something streams this year. 50 streams, that's the goal. This is number 33, I think. Anyway, see you later. Bye.